Hello, this is part 2 of a binding vow that I must complete, where I am limited to only twice the video's original length in order to yap. My apologies, but a binding vow is what I must undertake. We have a lot to talk about, and so little time. So, let's hop right into it. What's up guys, Open here, and we're going to do a breakdown / live reaction and review and analysis of Blzkn Anime's The True Strength of Maki and Toji. Now, your boy's very excited for this, but unfortunately I'm only allowed 26 minutes and 38 seconds from the start I hit play. That's not how that comes out. That's from the start I start playing the video. That's how much time I have to react and discuss about the true strength of Maki and Toji, which is very unfortunate, because you know if there's one thing I can do, it's yap about Maki and Toji. I will be making a similar video to this soon enough. But with that being the case, we have a whole lot to talk about and so little time. And unfortunately, due to the nature of my binding vow, I cannot waste any more of such time. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me, please answer my call. Are you ready? I hope you are. 3, 2, 1, go.
Maki is a lot stronger.
Once again, I'm limited by a binding vow, but before I do, what's up guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me, and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, I have 26 minutes and 38 seconds starting now.
Maki is a lot stronger than you initially realized. And I think as more as the series goes on, HR stocks are through the roof and will continue to do so. The reason why I do think HR is a lot stronger than people give them credit for is more so how the community have placed them and the fact that they are anomalies in the system. Majority of the community before the time skip had Maki and Toji relative to the Yutas and the Hikaris. However, post time skip, the story has portrayed these three to be on the same level, or at least be somewhat relative to each other, which if you do believe that the students have got exponentially stronger since the post time skip, that actually puts Maki at a very nice place with the fact that she must have been a lot stronger before the time skip, specifically if we don't believe HR has got stronger by any other means aside from Kirsto.
That is a big thing that is under constant discussion. How does a heavenly restriction user become more powerful? We don't actually know. We know they can become weaker. At least rusty, quote unquote. Notably, we have no idea what the difference is in terms of like an incremental multiplier or anything to stack upon Toji Fushiguro and Toji Zenin. But it's explicitly noted in a volume extra that the reason Grandma Ogami ends up incarnating Toji Zenin and not Toji Fushiguro is because it's better to summon a person when they are in the prime of their life. Meaning that Toji was stronger before he had kids. If you ask most people, that's actually backwards, because usually you get dad's strength after having kids. But, with that being the case, Toji Zenin is stronger than Toji Fushiguro, but once again, we've never seen one of them train. We've never seen either of them train. We don't know the upper limits of heavenly restriction, unlike every other character in Jujutsu Kaisen who can grow stronger via things like cursed energy reinforcement, via things like adding capabilities to themselves, such as further expanding their curse technique, such as any other thing, such as binding vows, which admittedly heavenly restriction users can also use apparently, but like not to the same degree. There are many other ways for other sorcerers to grow more powerful that heavenly restriction users do not have access to. So if Maki truly is equivalent to as she is pre-time skip, then it's dangerous. It's tragic. We may need a whole new paddock. But this seems pretty automatic, and I only have 24 minutes left and I didn't get that far into the video. Let's go.
Let's kind of dive into their narrative portrayal and why they actually are a lot more stronger than people give them credit for. And it starts all the way back with our favorite Toji Zenin, or also known as the greatest deadbeat in history. And when we start off with Toji Zenin, we get some good key information. When Toji is assigned to go and assassinate Riko, he's asked a pivotal question on can he defeat Gojo. His reluctancy to not answer leads to a lot of the community to suggest that that means he's not confident that he can win. However, I've never really seen it that way, with more so it gives an ambiguity to suggest that he could win or he could lose, which puts them on some sort of relativity.
And also, notably, I'll admit, and I know y'all aren't gonna like this, especially considering I used to have a backward stance before, I do think Toji would have been a full power pre-awakened Teen Gojo. I do think so. Mainly because the only thing that Toji would lose in that scenario is this first surprise attack, which Gojo negates anyway. Gojo still wouldn't know about Inverted Spear. Gojo still wouldn't be able to fully understand Toji. Toji would still have the advanced speed, and of course there is this statement. But this, and notably, this statement is weird. Because read what it says. Blah, 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 blah. The user reincarnates a formidable opponent who once fought with a strength on par with Gojo, Toji Zenin. Now, at least depending on how you interpret the statement, that would mean Toji is equal to awakened Teen Gojo, which is weird considering what happens in their battle. But then you argue Toji Zenin's equal. There are weird complications about it, but I don't necessarily just see a full win con unless you think that Gojo's going to manage to tag Toji with blue while he's fully conscious. And even then, I'm not sure what that would actually do to Toji. It seems like Gojo got a massive amp and specifically needed to use things like red, which is presumably at least twice as powerful as blue in terms of output, and that still barely did anything to Toji. And he needed purple to actually execute him, which Teen Gojo would not have access to before his awakening. So I do think Toji does stand a pretty solid chance, but once again, I'll go more in depth in my own video, and I'm running out of time. I need to keep going.
This relativity is then boosted specifically by somebody such as Naoya, as we know Naoya is the exact same age as somebody such as Gojo, meaning he should be aware of the clan head and aware of somebody such as Toji. And Naoya seems to be a very consistent scalar to the actual true strength of Toji for numerous of reasons. One, when Maki first awakened and became...
To be fair, I know he's about to go into, because he's probably going to mention the fact that Naoya does say that Maki is simply not him, in the sense that she's not Toji at that point, and it ends up being accurate. Like, I don't think Maki necessarily gets a stat buff by amping her precognition and her understanding of the world, but she does get, like, massively better at doing everything after her little miniature training arc with Mio and her understanding of her abilities and uniqueness, which is very, very important. That is a fundamental difference between Maki and Toji. And also the fact that Maki was heavily injured before she ended up awakening. It's not like her wounds healed at that point when she fought Naoya and the entire Zenin clan. She was still fresh out of an eye and also had her guts torn open by her own father. So yeah, it do get tragic. New Paddock, you know it's automatic. Let me stop talking. I'm running out of time. It's already 21 minutes. Jeez.
Like Toji. He was the first and only person to actually acknowledge that Maki truly hadn't been like Toji. And now with hindsight, we know that was completely true, as once we get to Sakurajumo, she needed to get over that mental buff to be able to really reach those heights. But the reason why to think that his scaling is consistent is, one, like I said, he was the one to acknowledge her power. And then when she did awaken, he was the first person to acknowledge that, oh, you are now like Toji, which then led to his own ascension of becoming with his domain expansion. This shows consistency with the fact that he's been aligned with actually knowing Toji's true strength, and he's the only person who put both Toji and Gojo on some pedestal to suggest that they are the apex of their respective verse. You can suggest that his bias comes from the fact that those are the people that he's aware of, but the simple fact that he's a clan head, he should have more evidence towards people around him. And that means people like Yuki, even though there's an exception that her abilities weren't known, at least puts them at a level that Gojo and Toji should be above her, which puts them in a nice position that Maki's a lot stronger than people initially thought. Now I think
Now another thing, I'm going to do Yuki versus Toji. I literally have a whole script written. I'm just waiting to do it. But yeah, I will admit, for the Yuki fans out there, let me put some meat on the table. There's no way you can argue Naoya knows about Yuki. No way. Especially at the time when he makes that statement. No way. The higher-ups in Kenjaku didn't know about Yuki. And plus, you can definitely use Naoya's, let's just say lack of positive opinion towards women for him underrating Yuki. Of course, I don't actually think Yuki's anywhere near Gojo's level. I think there's a pretty solid argument you can make that she's the second weakest of the special grades. Which is unfortunate. And depending on how you argue Kenjaku stats versus Geto's stats, you could argue she's... No, because she has domain, and Geto doesn't have domain. So, I can't even say she's the weakest. That is unfair. She's specifically the second weakest. But, at the same time, if you want to do anything in terms of supporting Yuki, you can't necessarily say that. Now, you can't use Naoya as a reference, essentially, since he wouldn't know. If the higher-ups in Kenjaku didn't know about Yuki, Naoya would not know about the capabilities of Yuki. But let me see. 18 minutes.
The biggest downplay comes from is the fact that we say that was a version of Gojo and Toji should be relative, and the simple fact that a lot of the community think that version of Gojo is a lot weaker than people give him credit for. One, that Gojo still has Infinity, which just makes him way broken. Yes, he doesn't have RCT and hasn't awakened, but that version of Gojo was still called the strongest, and I don't think, at least from the way the series has been portrayed, that the scaling has been very consistent, and there isn't a significant power cliff that we've seen in the series. The disaster curses, for example, still scale pretty nicely to the people in the Culling games. I do have a video coming out with Zage, great YouTuber, where we will be discussing the Sendai colony versus the disaster curses.
I will have to watch that video. I will. because I think Ryu slams the disaster curses. But I am a Ryu rider, so that is the Ryu rider in me. So we'll come back to that one. But that one's interesting. That one's very, very interesting. I got my fingers rubbed again. Luckily enough, that binding vow hopefully shouldn't apply to that video. This is the final binding vow video. The person who ordered the binding vow, the person who I entered that agreement with, I want you to know, you have saddened me. Because I would love to yap more. But I only have 17 minutes left, and I'm only 3 minutes into the video. So let's go.
Excluding Utah, and kind of put into perspective how their scaling is a lot more consistent. But to really wrap that back all the way back to the fact that Naoya is a consistent scaler, he's the person who really puts them both on a pedestal to suggest that they are both the apex of their respective verse. And this is then buffed with the fact that, like we said, we got to the fight with Toji versus Gojo. Of course, Gojo wasn't at his full percent and was tired due to the 3 days and not even at his 100% strength that we know he is. But for the simple fact that even after the sneak attack, everything that Toji did was on his own conscious and came from him improvising. It wasn't him coming with a detailed plan. Yes, he did weaken Gojo. It was all in the essence of him successfully creating his assassination, and a lot of it came from him post-improvisation. Now, someone would suggest that, okay, there was a baby version of the Six Eyes which was able to track Toji. However, in this fight, we saw that he wasn't able to track Toji. And as we've seen, as we continue, being the Six Eyes may be an exception. People such as Sukuna, who is the top of the verse, can't even track the HR users, meaning they're...
And notably, Sukuna has some of the best perception in the series. Notably, he does actually react to Maki here. He just didn't notice she was coming up. But still, like, outside of the Six Eyes, Sukuna has the best perception. And notably, go reread the Hidden Inventory arc, and I say specifically reread it because I don't think the anime actually includes this. The main reason that Toji wanted Gojo tired wasn't actually because of, like, his Six Eyes perception. Gojo doesn't have omnidirectional vision. It's the fact that Gojo's instincts are really, really good at a young age. Making Gojo tired is pretty much irrelevant, for the most part. What that did was dulling his instincts. His Six Eyes perception wasn't actually really that dull. Remember, the Six Eyes just perceives things faster. But by dulling Gojo's instincts, it allowed for an easier attempt at a sneak attack, which failed. And he's right, with Toji improvising everything after that, as he himself admits.
Prone to being sneaked attack. And not only that, but it means it's very hard for them to actually keep up with them, meaning that they're just a huge matchup problem for pretty much everybody in the verse, bar the Gojos and Sukunas. But to take it to a step further, and why I believe that version of Gojo is a lot more underrated, is because if we put it into perspective, the way that it has been shown in the series, from him using blue and etc., it just puts that Gojo on a far higher pedestal as we continue to go with the series. However, that will be a video for another day where I really want to prop up how pre-RCT and specifically post-RCT Gojo is a lot more stronger than the community gives it credit for. And then there's an underlying narrative that's also shown within the series, and specific when we get to Naoya talking about Toji. The sin of the insignificant is not knowing true strength. And I think specifically with Gege referencing that Gojo is the only one to truly understand Toji, he plays on the theme of the lonely on the top as well. As we've consistently seen in the series, the people who have a greater understanding of true strength are those that share those same struggles. Toji being exiled from his respective clan for the simple fact that he does not have the traditional sense of what it means to be strong, with him being a HR user. Gojo, like himself, obviously being overwhelmingly strong, Kashimo, Sukuna, and the plethora of characters that we've seen who have adopted that trope. In specific has also been shown to be with Toji, and the person with Gojo being the only one to understand him, especially a character as Gojo who can't be understood by others. It really does reinforce, especially with the knowledge that we do know, that that was the theme that Gege was trying to portray with Toji's character, and it goes nicely with his whole portrayal that we've seen in the series, which nicely reflects to Oni Maki as well. Taken to a step further, when we get even the moment where he comes in Shibuya, and the way he comes out of the domain directly is a foil to not only Gojo, but to the whole conflict that they had between their characters. He comes out same way, looking as if he's doing his own respective honored one, but through the opposite spectrum, and specifically that was the Toji that seemed to be free and cast from all those desires that he previously had. This version of Toji...
Narrative portrayal does play a lot into how characters are carried. However, I will admit it's not everything in terms of a scaling sense. Mainly because, look at a character like Yuta Kotsu, who is pretty and arguably the third strongest character in the verse at this point. There are some arguments you can make with like speed and stuff like that, and matchups specifically. It's, ironically enough, dealing with Maki and Toji, and Kashimo for the most part in terms of number 3. But Yuta never actually has the same kind of narrative weight or issue that Toji or Gojo or Kashimo or Sukuna is implied to have. he's implied to have it loosely, but in terms of the moments of freedom, the moments of transcendence, Yuta does not have that. Yet he is definitively one of the strongest characters in the series. Though admittedly, Ryu has that, and he's also one of the strongest characters in the series. So I say this just to mention that narrative isn't actually everything, but it does play a lot into it. But I will say this, it does not mean that Toji's innately the strongest, or one of the strongest. You do need the feats to back that up, and the statements to back that up, and the skilling to back that up, but luckily enough, Maki and Toji do also have that in spades. Let's see.
Wasn't searching for self-affirmation, nicely fully completes his character, which really does suggest that he does have that same trope of the lonely at the top, but to a different perspective, and it nicely boosts that Toji is a lot stronger than people think, not only just from a power scaling perspective, but even in the narrative perspective as well. But to put back into what I said, if we assume that the students are somewhat relative to Maki pre-time skip, that means, like I said, Maki is not only far stronger, which means that us as the audience really don't know the true strength of actual HR, and the fact that it's still shrouded in a lot of mystery gives more cadence to that. And then we get one of my favorite things, which is the entire Zenin clan arc. In the Zenin clan arc, one thing one of the people in the Zenin clan said is that the Zenin clan is only alive because of the whim of Toji, meaning Toji could have came and washed everybody in the clan, and that includes a Nobito, Naoya, and the rest of the Zenin, which puts them in a very nice perspective. One, for the simple fact that the speed of two speeders such as Nobito and Naoya, who one, Nobito was able to easily handle Dagon before the domain expansion, really showing that even with their broken curse technique, how strong these HR users are, and for the simple fact that they could run through an entire clan of minimum grade 1 sorcerers with some who have very broken techniques, which just puts into perspective that HR is a lot stronger than people give them credit for. To take it to a step.
Now, once again, if only to fight for the other people who are not being fought for at this moment, I will admit, there are very easy arguments that every single special grade sorcerer could also solo the Zenin clan. Like, Geto could likely solo them. So could Yuki, definitely Gojo, and definitely Yuta. Obviously Sukuna, Ryu could as well. I could even see Uro giving the clan the hands. The Zenin clan, while being impressive for a bunch of grade 1s, grade 1 isn't that impressive to the actual top tiers of the verse. The only thing that is impressive is the speed thing, which Naobito and Naoya, seemingly enough, have yet to been properly surpassed in. Everyone who beats them has precog. Or like, really good perception abilities that allow them to read and make explicit use of their weaknesses. No one ever really like directly answers them on a speed front, like bar for bar, band for band. It's usually prediction and environmental reading. The only characters who you can definitely argue are faster than either of them are like Gojo and Sukuna. That's about it. There you go. Well, let's see.
We also even get the statement that is nicely said from Yuki, where Yuki told Geto that she shouldn't be worried that he lost to somebody such as Toji because he is a superhuman. And to put that into context, the fact that these entire Jujutsu sorcerers are superhumans in their own right, that he puts Toji on a certain pedestal, to me really enforces that they're a lot further than a lot of people give them credit for. And I think the community doesn't really have a true understanding of the power of HR, which I think is very intentional because Gege has let it be ambiguous throughout the series. But to kind of piece that both together and to continue into the point to why they really are a lot stronger than people take credit for is more so their bag and what they have. They're immune to domains, which is the biggest pinnacle of what Jujutsu sorcery are. They have curse tools such as the inverted spear of heaven, which is able to negate the user. And of course, I'm using things such as Toji just to talk about HR in general. However, I do hope in the future we do see Maki get an inverted spear of heaven. However, even if she doesn't get that, for the simple fact that she has a soul split katana, which from what we know negates durability and potentially might not be healed by the soul. Meaning if they can't be healed, then it's pretty much a one-shot if they get a significant blow onto the user, and to combat that with their actual precog, which makes them a monster. And to put it into perspective, the precog should be enough to really put them over actual users. We see in Sakurajima where Naoya says she can't even catch up to Maki. Now a lot of people say that that means that Maki is faster than Naoya. However, even if we go through the other interpretation that he's actually not faster than Naoya, the simple fact that Maki can evade, dodge, and manage to get significant hits without Naoya actually being able to touch him really puts into perspective how broken precog really is, and it's taken to an even step further when we get to the point against the fight against Sukuna. Now we know from the fight against Sukuna that Sukuna wasn't necessarily going all out, as well as his curse technique output was lowered. However, Lightning, who was our most trusted translator when we get to things in the series, suggested that his curse technique movement was not affected, which puts that Maki and Yuji to...
Whoa, I did not know about that. I didn't know about
However,
that.
Lightning, who was our most trusted translator when we get to things in the series, suggested that his curse technique movement was...
Second line is meaning is nuanced. The ability to control Megumi's body isn't as bad. There's some irregularities my CE output. It doesn't go as far as hindering my movements in this vessel. Yeah,
not
that's
affected, which puts that Maki and Yuji to somewhat relativity in terms of movement speed to the Sukuna that they fought. Of course, like I said, that Sukuna is probably weakened. However, the only time that Sukuna managed to get a significant blow onto Maki was when he does the cleave onto the ground to take away her footing and then punch her straight after. Meaning that with precog, they're able to contend with somebody who is far, far ahead in the verse and really put them onto perspective with how difficult it is against such people. Now, to put this all in totality, what does this mean for Maki and Toji? Well, let's look at them from a feat perspective, being able to sneak people such as Sukuna. And if we're going through the exception that only Gojo was able to see them because of the 6 eyes, that means nobody in the verse should be able to sense them, really giving them the perfect candidates to being the sneak merchants. The entire bag just makes them a problem for every sorcerer really not named Gojo versus Sukuna, and I think it will be continue to be enforced as they get their moment in this fight against Sukuna. But like I said, Toji's going to get massive upscale because the version that was against Gojo was obviously mentally nerfed, which you know in the series how mental buffs significantly affect the user, and depending on your interpretation of the Rusty comment, you can suggest that the Rusty comment meant that Toji wasn't in his prime, which is what assumed to be, as well as the fact that he mentally would have never fought somebody such as Gojo, specifically in the post-RCT version, which kind of puts it into perspective that that version of Toji isn't the truest reflection, which is why Maki is going to be a very good scale for actually Toji and Maki in the future. The continued Maki feats really just boost Toji, and Toji feats that we get from statements and portrayal really boost Maki, and it goes hand in hand with each other and kind of puts into perspective that HR's true strength hasn't been shown in the series, and they have a lot more to gain as we continue in the series. Even they're just their immunity to regular techniques for the simple fact that they don't take curse energy, and for the simple fact that something such as Panda made a comparison to Kashimo's lightning being something like Nue, and Nue not really doing any significant damage to Maki. It really just boosts Maki and Toji stocks to the roof and kind of just shows that they're monsters within their own realm. Now I know somebody's going to bring up, well, Megami said he's 3 fingers Sukuna level. One, Sukuna scaling isn't comparable to anybody else in the series because it's Sukuna, and each finger we don't have a necessary linear scaling to suggest how fast that each one is. But we know for the simple fact that the only thing he gains from the fingers is curse energy. I'm not here to say that curse energy doesn't affect his speed, because it most likely does. However, for the simple fact that Megami, who has no idea what Sukuna's speed was, it was just him getting blitz, isn't indicative of how fast Toji is, because he doesn't know Sukuna's true speed. Aside from the fact that he knows that the feeling that he felt of being overwhelmed by a user is comparable to that of Sukuna, which is why he makes that comparison to Toji. We also know with Toji being able to completely overwhelm somebody such as Dagon in a very short limited factor, being able to not only destroy his sure hit, being able to run on water, but his overall portrayal was disgustingly crazy, and it really shows why they are broken as they are. To take it to a step further, we saw the showing that Maki had against Sukuna, being able to contend with him, and even though we know it was a 2v1 with him and Yuji going back and forth, it really puts into perspective if the fact, like Lightning said, that their curse technique movement wasn't affected, that puts their speed at a far, far greater level than the rest of the series, and somebody such as Yuji, who's already been compared to be a superhuman before curse energy, it really enforces why they're on a different level than others. Now let's put this all in totality, because their durability is crazy, their speed is crazy, their AP, they basically have a one-shot sword, they're immune to the pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery, and they all have their internal healing, which we saw with Maki in Sakurajima. So why do people sleep on HR? I think the reason people sleep on HR is for the simple fact that they don't have the credentials as regular Jujutsu sorcerers, because they are an anomaly, meaning we can't rank them in the same manner such as the domains, etc, because they don't have that. However, because of this, they're actually the perfect matchup against any other sorcerer, and for the simple fact I think they have a perfect argument for potentially being in the top 5 as we continue in the series.
Another classmate died.
However, I know a lot of people won't necessarily agree with that, and I hope you at least hear me out and hear my perspective. However, I do believe if you're not on the HR chain, get on before it is too late.
All right. I have 4 minutes left. Once again, W video, fantastic video by Blzkn. I wish I'd managed my time better. I'd be able to add more. But I do agree with him, 100%. Top 5 pretty solidly. At least from my opinion. I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, Pencil, you're a Maki beat muncher, so of course you think Maki's top 5. And of course you think Toji's top 5. Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing. Once again, with their precog, and notably 252 adds to this a whole lot as well, in the spoilers at least. Once again, at the time of recording, I actually haven't read the actual chapter. But with that being the case, her having any relativity at all, and any ability to perceive and avoid Sukuna's attacks is crazy. Next level. Top of the line stuff. No one's done that. She's her. Absolutely. And indubitably. And also the fact that they are just really bad matchups for everybody else in the series. Anyone with a domain, irrelevant. Anyone who has regular durability, irrelevant. Anyone who is just not prepared for them, irrelevant, because you cannot use basic things against them. Of course, in a straight up versus battle, the inability to know where they are to allow them to sneak you is pretty much impossible. Only Toji can take advantage of that using the fly heads, but still, it is still very, very good that they're unable to be tracked. They have the ability to one-shot you unless you have Infinity, and also they have complete immunity to the Apex of Jujutsu. Those three things alone, plus their crazy stats, like their speed, and like their AP with Soul Split Katana, and their usually next level battle IQs, like both of them are compared to some of the smartest characters and some of the strongest characters in the verse in terms of IQ and battle IQ, they are fantastic. The Heavenly Restriction users are both top tier. I do think we're going to get more explanation on that, more expansion on that. From the spoilers of 252, it seems like, and I say seems, but it seems like we're going to be doing pretty good with them. If what I think happened in 252 happened in 252, then it could get extra devious for their speed scaling and what their precognition could really do for them. And of course, it always comes to a question, how much stronger is Maki? Has she properly surpassed Toji? What kind of training can she do? So the big mystery is the biggest thing that simultaneously boosts the Heavenly Restriction users, yet holds them back. But overall, I still think both are in fantastic standing. I'm very, very excited to see them cook even further, and I 100% agree with Blzkn. You may want to start investing now. It's going to get devious for Maki soon, though. She's probably going to lose a limb, so don't invest too much. Put your money in Yuta stocks as well. Put a majority of your funds in Yuji stocks. Yuji stocks are the ones that are going to pay off by the end of the series, trust me. But I still say Maki is more than worthy of your investment. However, once again, W video by Blzkn. Please go check out Blzkn. His link to the channel will be in the description down below. The link to the original video will also be in the description down below. Please go check it out. Once again, fantastic content creator. Amazing editing, amazing stories, amazing scaling, all that good stuff. Please check him out. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave Heavenly Unrestricted. That sounds so stupid. Leave Heavenly Unrestricted in the comment section down below. I have 1 minute left. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You'll also become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks will include the live reaction to the very next chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, along with ad-free variations of all my videos. And if you're becoming a $25 patron or $25 member, you can get access to any video you want. Now, thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with 28 seconds left. I told you I could do it. I know I still lost. I hope you're happy. I hope you better have watched the entire gosh darn video. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with the pencil, writing off. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Connor Plays, Greyhound, Kids Void, Astro, Red Wolf 4765, and Eternal Flame. And I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons, Victor, Steron, Sean, RNG Master, Midnight Lord 21, Metal Solid Crisis, Kevin, Igneel, and eHack1. And I'd like to give a gargantuan thank you to our $7 members, Autumn Mornings Lazo and Jan Tomaz. And I'd like to give another juicy old thank you to our $10 member, Jay Warrior. I'd like to give a gargantuan thank you to our two $10 patrons, Joaquin and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give another sloppy thank you to our, I shouldn't have said sloppy, thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. And I'd like to give a juicy gargantuan thank you to our $25 patron, Winter. Another fantastic next level thank you to our $25 patron, China Doll 09, and a final gargantuan thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.